Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. How many units are you going to need this year? Yes, we're going to be discussing one of these particular subjects. I think it's important obviously to start off the year with, targets, aspirations, things that you want to achieve. And whether or not those particular things will be the following. July 4th deals, which look, is always on everybody's radar of an importance. Cyberweekend deals, which of course are the mark of depreciation. Like, to kind of explain out if anybody doesn't know, at the start of the year, Kabam may tease some stuff like, we've gone from December into January. People are wanting to see more Titan Crystal Shards, Tier 2 Primordial Dust, Rank 3 7-star materials, so Tier 4 Alpha, maybe more 7-star 1 to 2 gems. But they're always very hard to get when it comes to, like, say, the unit cost that's attributed to them or the content you've got to do. So by the end of the year, they depreciate in value. And this all comes to a head. And by the way, shout out to Charles Wong, who'll put a link to in the description for this infographic. All this can be self-evident with the Banquet Event, where you see things like, well, rank up to 300. There is a rank 1 to 2 gem. But here's the thing. By the time Banquet Event 2024 rolls around, it will probably be down here, close to the 2,600 marker, because things depreciate in value and more rewards getting thrusted out to the community. That's what should happen in theory. And you may see a 7-star Awakening gem. Possibly, Kabam have teased it as a thing. So, this obviously brings us back to the point of the video, and that is, how many units could you theoretically need in order to do all these events? Now, I did set out a video which was all about like how many units you need to farm or how many units you could farm, which obviously came close to that 100k total. Do bear in mind, I did put in a pinned comment in answer to a few people's queries, questions, criticism, and other stuff. And do bear in mind as well, when I'm setting these out, right, some people have said, look, you're not putting in what the expectations are, are we kind of like, realistic expectations of what players can get. Of course, that video was all about saying, well, this is the total you can get, but it's up to you how much you grind for it. You may not want to do the extended grind. And of course, as we go through the year, next month, I'll probably do a video going like, look, realistically, here is scenarios. And this is what I'm trying to present to you guys and gals over the course of several years is scenarios, options. You don't have to take the options. You don't have to take what I'm going to say. Like, you can do whatever you want. This is your game to grind. Do bear in mind that without taking a lot of stuff that I do, take it out of context or taking it too seriously. You drax it so much. Don't drax it. Be a good person. So let's go over some scenarios. So the first scenario, which I've referred to, is dipping in all the sauce. So you get your chicken nugget, and you're dipping it in a little bit of barbecue, a little bit of curry sauce, a little bit of ketchup. You're dipping everything in. But of course, do bear in mind, if you want to get some of the stuff this year, you're going to have to grind for it. And if you aren't willing to do arena, then I'm sorry, there's not much available to you. Funny enough, if you're unwilling to do an extensive amount of arena, then from a total standpoint, you're only looking at about 24,000 units. If you're willing to do, just the summoner trials, you could see 62,525. Look, there is a difference of kind of like if you're willing to do a little bit, you actually come close to this. And from a Banquet perspective, 18,000 units gets you 4 to 5% like finish point in solo, and you can also get up to 21,000 units invested into your Cyber Weekend deals, July 4th deals, and also get the end of Act 8.4 deals. Now, that may not apply to you. You may not be interested in that. You may not actually be doing 8.4. Fine, okay, cool. But reinvest it into the Banquet Event. So there is always opportunity if you're willing to do a bit of farming of units. And the same thing with me. Like, I didn't do quite as much unit farming last year as I should have done. This year, as soon as I get the Necropolis 100%ed, then I'm back to kind of trying to get as much and as high as possible to at least do something interesting. I don't know. I'm being ambitious. I kind of feel like if I was really to apply myself this year and do Banquet Event 55k units into it, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I want to lose all my time. I've got other plans for this year in any case. But we'll see. I want to do it from a non-spending standpoint. And so far over the last 2 years, it's been, you know, farming units by that means, arena, you know, doing quests, doing lower content, stuff like that. Look, if you want to do some more cash deals and a banquet dip, then you could get a little bit of investment to July 4th deals. And I would say be a little bit realistic. We've talked about depreciation of stuff. And as I said, you know, Cyber Weekend, you could see tier 4 alpha. Depending on where you are in the game, on chase meta, it could be a case that the July 4th deals, which by the way will not be kind of like the Fun in the Sun stuff. Look, Fun in the Sun is a good representation of going depreciation. Again, like what am I talking about with that? Well, July 4th deals. Where's the tier 4 alpha? That's right, there's no tier 4 alpha. What was in Cyber Weekend deals 2023? Tier 4 alpha, depreciation. Like, it's like, well, in that case, it's not depreciation, but it's where the value of the game on the meta reward shift and Kabam start putting it in. So probably see something in July 4th, but at the same time, look for more of that come, you know, Titan Crystal Shards, Titan crystals, other spicy things start going in Cyber Weekend and become more obtainable. You know, there might even be 7-star awakening gems by Cyber Weekend 2024. I don't know. I can't predict the future. Well, I'll try to predict the future, but I can't travel in time to find out that particular info. But it is interesting time as to investment. So, where the Banquet Event becomes of interest is I think that Kabam will learn lessons and it will be a better Banquet Event 2024. How do I know that? You know, I can't know that 100%. Well, look, number one, the complaints that went in about Cyber Weekend. Number two, Kabam admitted that they didn't really kind of like hit the marker. Number three, they talked about even spicier items that could have featured in it, but didn't. And when they're talking about those three things and a disappointment, then what do they have to do? That's right, they have to impress you. So, looks like the Banquet Event 2024 should be that impressing the player base. And how do they do that? Well, they put in more spicier things at lower ranks. And that's what should happen. So your investment into it might be more important in 2024 than it's ever been. So you've got to take that pretty seriously. So look, by investing the units, and this is based on, like, this is great. Why it's so important each year to collect as much data from you guys and gals as possible is that we can get an idea of where the unit investment is. What's so important about that? Well, you can start farming now. If you're willing to farm, you know, anything between 14,400 units, 17,700, 38,250, and I know it's a lot, and I know a lot of people do get funny about it. And even when you're talking about hitting up the first, the 2,000th position at 55,800 units. Yeah, I know. It is a lot of units and it's not nice. Again, shout out to Charles for this info because it gives us the perspective to go, right, well, if you are willing to do that kind of investment of units, what is possible for you could be really beneficial for your account. Finishing a solo point at, you know, top 1%, even as we said, like, you know, top 1 to 5%, 2 to 3%, 4 to 5%. You know, I invested about 3,000 units, I think it was, and I got something like here. But I would have loved to have been up here. Look, this is the fun zone here, 1% to 10%, 1% to 5%. This is a fun zone. Is it? Look at it, right there, all that stuff. I've better put into shot. You know, 2 tier 3 alpha, 2 tier 6 basic, 6-star awakening gem, rank 3 to 4, you know, gem as well. But then saying that, next year, this year, 2024 Banquet Event, if Kabam really put in some decent rewards and top 2,000 is possible, or even higher than that, sorry, I should say, like, you know, if you want to get up to like 600 position, this is where you could be seeing the 7-star rank up materials. Just by investing in your kind of like time to kind of get there means that you could have a really decent, and that doesn't even count for the stuff you pick up from graded banquet crystals. I'm not saying it will or won't, but at least, as I said, like, you could get something good from it. And if it doesn't pan out, then at least you know to kind of grab something better with those units another time. But look, this is the important stuff. This is, as we said, this is the the difference between kind of like investing, getting a lot of stuff and not. But again, it's down to you if you're willing or interested to start now. And the reason I do these videos now is, look, it's not like I'm telling you 2 months before, go farm arena. I'm telling you now, if you start now, it won't be so bad when you get to the end of the year. And if there is a potential 100,000 units that you could pick up, then you could have 30,000 extra units to spend. If you are going for a scenario like hitting the top 2,000th of solo. But of course, again, it's up to you. Like, if you want to do a little dip into stuff, just at about 15,000 units gets you 6 to 10% in the solo of Banquet Event. Cyberweekend deals, get all the deals at 18,000. Could be some good stuff. And July 4th deals, like slight investment of 12,000. You could pick up something nice that you want. Whether it's Paragon, Thronebreaker, Valiant even, or Cavalier. I'm sure you'll find something, and I'm sure you'll find a way that you'll be interested to kind of grab some deals, or maybe you won't at all. And this is the thing, but you know, when I do these videos is I present options. It's up to you whether or not you're interested to work towards them. But what I try and do is do these in January and try and help to set you up for the year. And, you know, come along for the ride. I'm going to be farming units and, you know, getting ready for all these particular things. I want to see what the 8.4 deal is like as a, well, I'll probably be Valiant by then. As a Valiant player, what that's going to mean for my roster. Is it going to be interesting? And is it going to be something like, you know, I only need to spend about 10k extra units in for Valiant deals in July 4th deals? Like, I don't know. But here's the thing. If I've got the units available, and this is the main thing, you can make a decision. Or you don't have the units available and not interested to farm. Just presenting some options for you. Hope you enjoyed the video. What are you going to be planning to do with your units for this year? Are you going to be focusing on a Banquet Event? Are you going to be doing like King of Arena? What are you going to be doing? Thanks for watching. Check out some other content located on screen and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.